The Waterloo and Brickfield communities are located on the west central coast of Trinidad, just north of the town of Couva, the main urban center for the community. The coastline comprises a sheltered bay lined with mangroves and mudflats that are exposed at low tide. The area has a high species diversity and has several species of birds, mammals, crustaceans, and other wildlife. Ecologically and economically, the coastline is of great importance and is valued for its ecosystem services and functions. Historically, agriculture was the primary form of economic activity and started with the cultivation of coconut, cocoa, and coffee. With the rise of the sugar industry, previously cultivated land was cleared for the planting of sugarcane. The nutrient-rich soils, soil moisture, and the generally flat land made the area suitable for sugarcane cultivation. This industry provided a source of income to persons living within and in close proximity to the area. This opportunity for economic advancement encouraged the movement of persons into the area and led to the conversion of agricultural land into roads, houses, and other buildings. It also meant expansion and conversion of more land to agriculture, as well as the continuous and repeated cultivation of the area. The soil's moisture and nutrients, as well as the contamination of the soil through fertilizer and pesticide application. In addition to the contamination of soil, the fertilizers and pesticides would pollute the rivers via surface runoff or leaching from the soil into the river or the water table. These pollutants can impact both flora and fauna of the area's aquatic and terrestrial environment. Increased economic activity within the community encouraged the population of the area to increase and brought with it interactions between humans and the environment. Increased human activity increased production of both solid and liquid waste, example sewage and grey water, both of which has the potential to be released either directly or indirectly into the natural environment, if not disposed of correctly. Solid waste can enter drains and rivers, polluting these waterways, and small particles can be ingested by wildlife, causing sublethal and lethal effects. Liquid waste, such as sewage and grey water, can increase organic content, reduce oxygen, and has lethal impacts on aquatic fauna of the area's rivers. With increased population, development of the community, and the end of the sugar industry, human and the natural environment interactions increased with the coastal mangrove and mudflat ecosystems. Mangrove swamps are complex ecosystems that comprises salt-tolerant trees and shrubs usually found in sheltered intertidal areas. The dense root system of the mangroves provide the support for the trees in the dense waterlogged sediment and also provides a habitat for fish, crabs, shrimp, and mollusks. They also provide a nursery for juvenile fish. The trees and shrubs provide nesting and migratory sites for birds and are home to a variety of reptiles, amphibians, and mammalian species. The trees also play an important role in the transfer of organic matter from fallen leaves and branches, which is broken down and releases nutrients into the sediment. This forms the basis of the marine food chain. Mudflats are also a part of the coastal ecosystem in the Waterloo-Brickfield area. Mudflats exist where the shoreline is protected from waves and silt and mud can be deposited. The mudflat is exposed at low tide and provides a feeding ground for several species of local and migrating birds. The mudflat is a low-oxygen, nutrient-rich environment that comprises not only silt and mud, but decaying organic matter which forms the basis of the food chain. The mangroves and the mudflats have a mutually beneficial relationship whereby organic matter comes from the fallen trees and branches of the mangrove, and the deposited silt and mud of the mudflat provides an ideal environment for the germination and growth of mangroves. The mudflat also provides habitats for birds, for crabs, shrimp, snails, and several invertebrate species. The goods and services provided by both mangroves and mudflats extend beyond the natural environment and into the human subsystem. These goods and services form the basis of the human interaction with these natural ecosystems. Mangroves provide timber and plant products for construction material and in some cases medicinal plants. The mangroves also provide coastal protection. It helps stabilize the coastline by preventing erosion, protecting it against strong waves and storms. It protects the coastal communities from flooding and filters sediment from the water. In the past, there was significant destruction of the mangroves in the Waterloo-Brickfield area. However, efforts have been made to both the mudflats and mangroves help support and maintain the fishery of the Gulf of Paria, an essential food source and now the primary economic activity of the area. Fishing within the Gulf of Paria has replaced the sugar industry as the main economic activity. In Brickfield, a fishing facility has been built and provides an area for dry docking of boats, storage of nets, and selling of the catch. So successful has this activity become that the mudflats have since been dredged to facilitate the docking of boats along the coastline. Embankments have been built with the dredged material to slow the deposition of material along the coastline and allow fishermen to become directly to shore with the boats. These embankments have provided some disturbance to the mudflats, but are now being used for recreational activities such as fishing, bird watching, and for lining. The natural environment here has been altered to promote the area's fishing activities. However, the continuous unsustainable fishing practices mean that the fish stocks can be depleted beyond replenishable levels. Overfishing will also have negative effects on the food chain. Fishing and recreation in the area also promotes littering and increased effluent discharged into the natural environment. This effluent comprises of sewage, chemicals from painting or repairing of boats, and groundwater from washing of boats. Like pollutants from agriculture, these pollutants can affect the quality of water and have chronic and acute toxicological effects on the wildlife of the area. The Waterloo-Brickfield area also has a strong historical, cultural, and religious value with the existence of the temple in the sea. This, along with the mudflats and the mangroves, are often seen as tourist attractions and are used regularly as a recreational area by visitors. The Brickfield-Waterloo area is a coastal community that is closely intertwined with the natural environment. There are several human interactions that have occurred in the development and growth of coastal communities. These interactions, in most instances, have the potential to have negative impacts on the natural system if not managed and mitigated against. Thank you very much.